Alright, so down here. Are they gonna come out at night? Speaking of what chat thinks of the playthrough, I wanted to thank all the people that have commented that have said like they are really enjoying the playthrough. I know that this game is like not the hard-hitting action of the other Final Fantasy games just because it's an MMO. So it means a lot that some people are like specifically saying like, hey, I really enjoy like the calmness and just kind of overall feel of the playthrough. It does mean a lot, because I was going to play this game regardless, because it's part of Fantathon. That's the whole point of doing the marathon. But obviously I did have my worry that like it would be boring. So it's really nice to hear. So I appreciate everyone that said that. These marathons, that's kind of the whole point of the marathon, is I have to play the game no matter what. That's why, like, when we did Crashathon, I had to play the absolute filth that was Crash Purple and Crash Tag Team Racing. So I knew I was going to play this regardless. But it's good to hear that it's not just a total, like, everyone's like, yes, this is a snore. How do I get down there? And also, to be fair, I'm having a lot of fun playing the game. At first I was worried, but now that I understand what I'm doing, I'm enjoying it. And if I ever stop enjoying it, then I'll just be like, alright, we'll move on. But I'm still very much enjoying the playthrough. I'm excited to get this subclass and see how that works. And I'm starting to get more abilities to kind of understand the combat better. I don't think I'm ever going to have a full grasp of... There's a wasp. I don't think I'm ever going to have a full grasp of the combat. Because I guess a lot of it is kind of like stuff that I can't really do with trusts. Like someone was saying before that like part of the role of the thief is like kiting enemies. And I can't really do that with the trusts because they just kind of walk up and stand there and attack. So there are parts of the combat that I'm kind of missing out on. But at least I can kind of understand better how the abilities work and how the thief's damage works. And someone was saying that part of my problem is I don't look up the enemy's weaknesses. But I feel like who would do that? Who would take the time to Google every enemy's weakness to know, like, okay, this one I can use wind on, and this one I can use poison on? When objectively, I haven't really run into anything that's been a problem yet. Like, if I get to a boss that I can't beat, then maybe, but I'm not gonna, like, look up every single enemy to see what their weakness is. But that was, like, their argument as to why I don't understand what abilities to use when. But, like, hey, I got one. Like, yeah, I couldn't imagine that being any fun. So I don't think that's a good excuse for why it's like that. The official strategy guide that goes out of date 10 minutes after the game comes out. Yo, beta ending for the 13 months. Yeah, man, it's great to see you. I really appreciate you stopping by, even if you can't be here all the time. Like, I'm not saying you can't play that way, and obviously because it's an MMO, you'll want to look up stuff for the game to be more fun. But like, my argument was that when I walk up to this sheep, there's no way for me to know what ability is the best to use. Like, there's no way for me to know, is it weak against wind? Is it susceptible to poison? And so a lot of my fights end up just being, let's use sneak attack. because that's the only thing I know will definitely work. And their argument was like, well, you don't know the enemy's weaknesses, you have to look that up. But then my retort is, why would I look up a weakness for a sheep that's going to die in 2 hits, you know? So, like, yeah, maybe against the bosses, but for regular enemies, I'm still kind of just on complete autopilot, because why would I look that stuff up? There's no need. But, you know, to say this for the 5,000th time, which I know no one will listen and continue to write comments about how I'm whining, but for the 5,000th time, I was simply saying that is a negative to the game in my experience. I'm still having fun, I'm still enjoying the game. I was just commenting on one part of the gameplay experience that I thought was negative. If you can't handle that, then sorry. But, you know, there's going to be positives and negatives to every playthrough, and I'm going to comment on the positives and the negatives. I'm not just going to sit here and be quiet. But I'll still get people that are like, you just whine the entire playthrough. You're such a whiner. If you just looked up everything, you wouldn't whine. It's called being critical. It's called pointing out things that could be better. It's called being constructive. If you can't handle that, you probably shouldn't play. You probably shouldn't watch Let's Plays. You should watch some video that's like, Final Fantasy XI is the best game ever made, and this is why. You click on it, and the guy goes, hey, what's going on, YouTube? Back at it again with another super positive video. Be sure to hit subscribe. Can you make that video? Sure. Well, I only found like 2 bees. What's going on here? I will never do that. I will never do a Let's Play where I purposefully leave out all negative thoughts and positive, like, constructive criticism, and just only comment on the good things and then say 10 out of 10, please subscribe to my channel. If there's something I don't like, I'm going to comment on it because it's part of the experience. Yeah. This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. Where's all my bees? I watched a video from LS Mark, if anyone knows who that is. He made a video about all the negativity surrounding whenever he says anything bad about any movie ever. And he said, like, the people that leave those comments are the ones that are feeding the negativity. He'll make a video that just says, like, hey, constructively, this is a thing about this film that could be better. And then they, oh god, we almost had a Blaine moment again. And then people will leave comments like, oh, you just hate all movies, and you hate the whole movie industry, and all you do is complain and whine. And his argument was like, you're the one feeding the negativity. And I totally agree. That's how I feel about it. People that leave comments like that, you're the one feeding the negativity, not me. And like I said before, I'm tired of, like, trying to sugarcoat everything. And honestly, I might stop. Because it's gotten to the point now where every time I want to say something constructive about the game, I have to be like, so the game is great and I love it and I'm having fun, but if there was one little thing that I could possibly say negative about it, don't take this the wrong way or anything. I still really love the game, but if there's just one thing I could constructively say, it's like I'm done doing that. Like, if I'm just going to say it. Like, I don't know why I have to sugarcoat it in my own Let's Play. Auto disconnect in 60 seconds. How about you don't do that, because I'm playing. Thanks. How about we don't auto disconnect in 60 seconds? How about you give me a B in 60 seconds? Game's like, you're too negative. He's out. Ban this guy. We don't want to hear your rants. Meanwhile, he watched 40 episodes of a 40-hour series of me ranting. There was no input within set time. I was inputting walking. Are you admitting that walking isn't a real input? I can put my password back in. Give me a break. At least we get this jam. I mean, yeah. Let's be real. You're watching a Let's Play of every Final Fantasy, every mainline Final Fantasy. You're asking for people to say something about your game. Because everyone has a different opinion on which Final Fantasies are. That's the best thing about this series, is that it's so divisive. If you're a Final Fantasy fan and you can't stand someone saying anything negative about your favorite Final Fantasy, you should stop being a Final Fantasy fan. Because no matter how generalized you try to make your opinion, like, okay, Final Fantasy VII is my favorite, and 10 is my second favorite. Like, if you try to be the most common version of a Final Fantasy fan, you'll still get people that are like, nope, you're wrong. 8's the best. 8's the best. 6 is the worst. Fight me. And not only that, but they won't even say it in a way that's like, that's my opinion, and it's good that you know. They're like, nope. If you don't think 8 is the best and 6 is the worst, you're no longer my friend, and you're not a real Final Fantasy fan. Fight me. And you'll be like, what? That's the least likely opinion. How could you be that gung-ho about it? Like, that's cool if that's your opinion, but how could you actually think most people would agree with you? Nope. You have that opinion, or you're not a fan. Get wrecked. And then you just... death you sit. Yo, Zoo! Yo, tell me about this Fire Emblem game. Did you see the trailer? I want your opinion of that trailer. I was thinking about you while I was watching it. Might as well summon my boys. Yo, Matt, thank you so much for the 18 months. Are you late? You're 2 hours late. Hour and a half late. Not the Fire Emblem announcement you were looking for? What were you looking for? What do you think about the mechanic of bringing the boys back? Were you excited for that? Because that seemed like they were going for like a big reveal there. Like, people were supposed to be super excited. I don't want a pot of honey and a beehive. I got 3 things from that wasp, and none of it was what I needed. The heck? I want to summon Pepsi Man. Let the blade of the conqueror once again bring glory to the kingdom. Let's see if there's any over here. Yeah, maybe the fact that they're bringing back people from the past is a hint that we'll get more remasters in the future. But what about Marth? Everyone loves Marth. He was in the Smash Brothers game. What you got in this chest? Of course it's locked. First digit is odd. Second digit is even. Second digit is 6 or 8. That doesn't help me. Actually, no, it doesn't help me. Great. So it's... Okay, so it has to be 56 or 58. 56 or 58. I am never lucky. Shut up, Goblin Thug. No one asked you. I think I'm gonna walk out and back in to respawn the enemies around here. I wish that at least if you read all... Can I not go this way? Oh. Rip. I wish that at least if you took the time to read all the stupid hints, there was actually a definitive answer. And it wasn't always a freaking coin toss. Or worse. Love how much use the sit emote is getting already. Pre-made oatmeal cups. Actually sounds pretty good. I might look into that. That'd be a good thing to have for lunch. Because I like oatmeal. Although, I really only like brown sugar oatmeal. I don't really like fruity oatmeal. Or plain oatmeal. Plain oatmeal I can eat, but it's not very good. I could mount, but I guess I will. I didn't think this would take that long. I can tell you what Fire Emblem characters are going to bring back. All the ones from Smash. It's in Smash, they'll bring them back. Just because that's the ones that people know. Yeah, at first I was like, it's not the Chocobo theme, but I guess you get a Chocobo theme if you ride a Chocobo. Am I... Bro, am I stuck down here? How do I get back up? Have you tried having a Chocobo? This is fun. How you guys doing back there? You should get your own raptors. Oh, okay, there's one little ramp over here. Wait, you eat them cold? I don't know, I like warm oatmeal. With milk. I'd be willing to try them, though. Are they healthy, or are they... I mean, they're frozen, I don't know. How can oatmeal be not healthy, though? Put enough sugar in it. Anything can be unhealthy. Man, I really thought we'd find these bees, like, pretty quickly. That's not happening. Aha! Everything has to be a two-click thing. It drives me crazy. It can never just be like dismount. It's always got to be dismount. Are you sure you want to dismount? The Blade of the Conqueror once again bringing only the kingdom. I don't want a pot of honey. Can we just take the honey out of the pot to make it a clump? That's not how honey works. I disagree. Yes. We got 2. Because everything in this game leads to walking, that's why. Everything in this game is just a distraction from the main game, which is walking. It's all about walking. Come on, buddy. Maybe I can steal. A clump. Of course not. By the way, I'm playing as the Thief, which has bigger drop chance for items. So this would be even worse if you weren't Thief. Great. Yeah, well this was before World of Warcraft. I don't want that. So they didn't invent a not mount cooldown yet. They invented a cooldown. They didn't invent a way to get rid of it yet. Try to give them the benefit of the doubt here, Retro. Whoa there, buddy. Stay the course. Nah, yeah, that'd be way too complicated to fix in an update. I love that you have to go out of your way to get a mount, too. And then it has a cooldown. I think I'm gonna have to add this music to our playlist. Everyone loves it so much. I did not check to see if I had bee pollen in my mog house because I figured this wouldn't take that long. I might have some in my locker or case. Nope. No, I don't want to go north. Go south. Oh, so this is an update. Before it was even worse. I feel like that's a running theme with this game. Almost everything seems to be way worse than the original. The song is still good as ever, though. Yeah, I thought trolling was the main mechanic in World of Warcraft. I feel like the original Final Fantasy XI was truly the community versus the game. Like, they created this game that's almost impossible to play, and then the goal of the community is just to try to play it. Is that accurate? Because, like, from what people are telling me, how you just walk out of the first area and just get blasted. I feel like that's kind of what they were going for, like, just this harsh world, and then just let the community off their leash and see if they can work together well enough to survive the Hunger Games of MOBAs, or Hunger Games of MMOs. Hey, look, a lumbering Lambert. Those of you that make friends will survive, and the rest of you will perish. Welcome to the Hunger 11. Hunger Games 11. And like I said before, a lot of this was just Square Enix trying to figure out how to make an MMO. And I'm still very impressed at how well they were able to capture the feeling of the retro MMO in this game. It does not feel like a Final Fantasy MMO hybrid. It feels like an MMO. They did what they wanted to do perfectly. But I wish they had done the opposite. I wish they had made it more of a hybrid. Put some MMO elements in it, but make it more of a standard Final Fantasy with a story and memorable characters and all the things that make Final Fantasy great. But put those MMO elements in it. I think that could have been really great. And to be fair, that's kind of what they did with 14, from what I've heard. So apparently they agreed that that's what they should have done. There was not a single bee at this crack. Are we serious? I think I need to leave the area. I think I've killed all the bees. Oh, I was going to Ebenezer. The upper right crack. Alright, let me exit, and then I'll go upright. Kill anything I see on the way. You know, there's being a game that doesn't hold your hand, and then there's being a game where chat has to tell me where to find the bees. Sometimes it can be a bit extreme. Not the bees. Dude, I would say that a lot of the stuff we've done, I would have eventually found. But man, not having the big map would have been awful. So many of these areas, like, I would have never found. I mean, I would have had to just meander around forever. Because sometimes they don't even really give you directions. So like, alright, go to Smeckle Town. You're like, okay. Guess I'll just go to Smeckle Town. Oh good, we have the super coup power, dilatory digestion. I was hoping we'd have that. What am I riding on? A raptor. See? Raptors have wings in this game for some reason. Five-year-old getting his first pair of glasses. That's really cool. Prepare to finally see the world the way everyone else sees it. Remember when I got my first pair of glasses, I was like blown away. Couldn't believe that's what the world actually looked like. It's not a zebra. It's not a tuma. My first pair of glasses made me feel like I was in a fishbowl. Same. I looked over my glasses so much as a kid. I was constantly doing it. Boop 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 boop. This is like the longest quest we've been on. It's just for some frickin' honey. Alright. There's gotta be some bees over here. We got 2 big cracks. This is the closest one to the crag. Portal to warp us to Final Fantasy 12. What the heck is that in the distance? Stop calling my raptor a zebra. He doesn't like it. That's raptorist. What the heck is that floating thing? What is that? What are those? They're not bees. Are you serious? There's no bees over here? Are you serious? Should I, like, log in and log back out? Or log out and log back in or something? Like, what? I could understand if I were killing the bees and they just weren't dropping the honey, but I can't even find any bees. Aha! Please. For me. Please drop a big clump of honey for me. I'm begging you. I just want to go back to playing the game. Look alive, Snake Boat. done to deserve this? Seinfeld base. What's up, Hoffa? Not much, just getting our souls crushed. How about you? Aha! Our moment of redemption is now. Chi in the chat. No. Why? Four, five, or six. Odd. Even, so 4 or 6. Odd, and then 4 or 6. Wow, I have no idea what the first number is. Only that it's odd. Could be 54, could be 56. Could be 70, or no, I think actually just those. I did it! That's not bad. God, this is so awful. I hate looting in this game so much. It's the absolute worst experience. Yeah, no, that's the best thing I think I've ever gotten out of those chests. Is pants that aren't as good as the pants I have. That's a score. I normally ignore the chests, but after walking around for an hour looking for bees, I just wanted some other type of stimulation. Just wanted to do something else other than get back on my stupid zebra raptor. Just looking for some type of different gameplay for 3 seconds. Beep bop, looking for bees, 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 looking for bees, looking for bees, looking for bees, we're looking for bees. I need 3 bee pollens. I have 2. Also, I believe this is only the first of 3 things this guy asked me to do before he gives me my subclass, if I read the wiki article correctly. Can I look at my... I can look at my safe, right, even though I can't grab from it? Let's see. Honey... Yep. I guess we'll grab it. I didn't want to have to. I figured this would be a quick romp to grab some bee pollen, but I was dead wrong. Can I use that crystal? I don't remember. No, I can't. I have a warp thing, don't I? Oh no, I don't. I forgot to get one. Great! See you out. Plop, 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 plop. Roller Coaster Tycoon. Kinda. It's too jaunty for Roller Coaster Tycoon, though. I do like this fall area still. We're almost there. Alright, so you said I can grab stuff from my crystal? Or like, is there like a Mog house there? Or how do I get to my Mog save? Oh hey, speaking of paying monthly, how's it going, Borderline? Speaking of paying monthly, my 20-year-old code that got me a month free expired, I think, yesterday. So I am officially paying for my snake boat now. So better take out a second mortgage. I'm addicted to MMOs. It's all over for me. Had a good run. Not only is it like a insane $12 for my account, but then Snakeboat himself is $1. Does this guy look like he's worth $1 to you? Look at this view. Looks like $1 million. Gotta get the boys out to shovel some driveways, mow some lawns to afford my MMO subscription. I must be going crazy. I thought that said Goblin Manager for a second. that a basketball hoop? It's like a basketball hoop. Also, how's it going, Chryso? I need a goblin manager to manage all these goblins. World's best goblin. I wanna mug that says world's best goblin on it. Be a cool mug. Alright, I need to find a crystal and not one of those crystals. Yo, thanks so much, Nave. Aha, man, that was kind of hidden. Could have easily missed that. Okay, so can I can't take out of my Mog safe, right? Yeah, we're in Ireland now. I would like to go to Sandy Oreo. Upstairs? Is there a Mog house up there? Whatever. This works too. Sorta. A Mog secret room. Mocha Oreos. I think I've had those. Boo, beady boo, boo, beady boo, boo. Hey, Oogle. Give me the goods. Capricious Mithra Cubs have cajoled critical information out of the MHMU, and I want you to wrest it from them. Visit the 3 nations and question them. How about you give me my stuff, and then I leave and never talk to you again? How about that? Let's do that. Well, seeing as though dual wielding doesn't happen until I'm level 1,000,000, I'm just gonna put that dagger away. Thank you, sir. Open the door. Why do I have to say yes? Just open the door. Every other door just opens. Why does that one I have to say yes? Are you sure you want to turn the knob? No, I just want to stand here in front of the door and do nothing. I went through all this menu just to not do it. Where's the one I just activated? Zolkheim? Ah. Streamer gets progressively happier the further from Final Fantasy X-2 he gets. Well, that's pretty much it. We'll never know if I actually enjoy this game or if I only enjoy it because it's not Final Fantasy X-2. It's for you guys to figure out. Thunderhawk. Sick name. Hey, old guy, I got your stupid bee crap. There you go, stupid.